Hi everyone. Um, so we as healers are always busy with a holistic view of life, which means physically, emotionally, energetically, what is also called spiritually by many. You can call it whatever you want. You can give it many names and describe it in different ways. And but the energetic household and energetic healing is one thing that is very important in our work as well. And that is what I also want to put more light on. And for those who already are busy with that, I have invited someone that can tell more about it, but also the people that don't know um, what I'm talking about or haven't dived into it really, it will be very interesting to know more about it. So thank you, Ruby, for today's interview that I'm going to do with you. Um, it was I was thinking of you as the first to do this because I've been wanting to do this these interviews with people for a while, and you are the first one that I came up with to do this interview with, and to start this. So thank you for joining. And I want to ask you, would you please, in a nutshell, describe yourself and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, excuse me for the voice. Got a little bit of a cold, and it always tends to have an effect on my vocal cords. So I hope you can all bear with me. Yeah, so my name is Ruby, 40 years old, mother of 2 lovely children. And I actually started this year, started my own business in the energetic field, being in the business of consciousness and supporting people, coaching people, giving energetic sessions for those who, well, how should I say it? Maybe have always wondered what else is possible in life. You know, we always seem to do things that that we do because people expect them from us, or because that's what we're told, or that's what we think we should do, and it keeps us away from being ourselves. So what you could say that with the sessions that I do with people, whether they're private sessions or group sessions, my aim is to help them to become who they really are, and with a true self and a true power and potency, they're able to, you know, make any choice for themselves to create the life that they desire. I guess in a nutshell, that will be it.
Wonderful, thank you. And that is also exactly why it resonates so much, because you have the same vision on how you want to support people with coming to their own core, their own strengths, and help them to become more of themselves, of who they really are, and getting their strength out of that. And that is also exactly what Ruud and I do, and what our goal is with people. So that is really what resonated so much, and that is why, yeah, I really wanted to invite you to tell more about it and how you look at it. So what I want to ask you is what's your own experience with energetic healing, and what did it do for you?
In receiving energetic healing, you mean?
In general, in general with energetic healing, what you experienced with it, and what did it do for you in in any way you can describe.
Yeah, well, I think for the most part of my life, I could not recognize it. I've always known that there was something there, and even when I was younger and was discussing this with somebody who also did energetic therapy, and she was like, "Oh well, I can tell that you're very open," and I was like, "Really? Okay." So it was like other people were seeing it in me, but I wasn't seeing it in myself.
Okay.
And then later on, when it actually just when it really started, and when I started to notice it, is that when I was really starting to notice how it could really work with energy, and energy not in a way of being energized or energetic or having a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of being able to sense things in your body, out of your body, and to create a space that you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And also that if I would be in a discussion with somebody and somebody would have this sort of sudden awareness, it would, for me, I would feel the energy. I would feel the energy of their awareness. So I started.
Sorry, can you describe how you felt that? What you felt to describe it to the others that are watching?
Yeah, I think a very easy way to explain it is to sometimes feel some energy going in the back of my neck, going from here up, or I would feel it in my stomach, going from my stomach up or whatever. There would be some parts of my body that would just feel this tingling feeling. And like I said, it started really small, but as soon as I started paying attention to it and being present with it, I recognize that those are sensations that we think we have and that are normal, or that is just a chill that you get. And it made me aware that it's an energy that I'm aware of. Yeah. And it also then later on, it helps you, because when I'm in my coaching sessions with people, we communicate with the energy. And that also means when I talk to people who have their issues, whether it's something that happened in their past when they were a child, or whether it has something to do with, a loved one that passed away or whatever, we don't have to talk about that specific subject or that specific issue. We only need to address the energy. And that part really helps people, because sometimes it's too hard for people to really talk about what's bothering them, because sometimes they don't know. Sometimes it's something that they think it is, but it actually isn't. It's actually something else. It's hidden. And that's the beauty of speaking the language of energy. It's to get directly to that without having to have many words for it.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you. That is also what we support people with through treatments, etc. That we ask them what they feel, so that they can become more aware of the signs they get, as you also explain, within their body, in which they feel like, yeah, that's normal. It doesn't say anything, right? And then we make them more aware and conscious of what it actually does tell, because it does a lot, right?
I know, and it's actually funny that you should say that, because most of the time it's something that they feel and they relate it to something else, or they just relate it to their body. And it was actually, you know, that I was with my brother earlier today, and we did an energetic session, and he was really really relaxed. So that was good, because he was, of course he was tense. His wife was in a hospital. She had a bleeding in her brain, and now she is in rehabilitation. And while I was doing the session, he came to this relaxing position, And I also said, if there's anything you feel in your body, or you feel that there's compression or pressure or whatever, just tell me. And almost at the end, he said, I feel this pressure on the right side. And, so I put my hand on it and I was just working the energy. And after the session, we talked about it. I said, okay, so can you explain me again what it was that you were feeling? He says, I just felt like there was this sort of pressure, and it was going from, let's say, up here down to his leg until his knee. And for us, it's well known that his wife is paralyzed on the right side with her arms and her legs.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to him was, what are you carrying for her in your body that you want to take over from her?
Yeah.
And that's what you're feeling. And it was the awareness also from him thinking, right, you always think there's something wrong with your body. No, it's not. You're trying to take over from your wife because you want to take care of her, and her right part of her body is paralyzed.
Wow.
So no wonder your body it's keeping that. Yeah.
And that is indeed also a beautiful thing to be aware of, that it's not always of yourself, and that indeed you're not always literally injured, but that you're really taking energy on you, or something from others that you want to take care of, literally.
Exactly. And the thing is, this, without the awareness, it's taking energy from him, because he's like, oh my God, why am I feeling so down? Why am I so tired? Why, I need to, those things that go around in your head. And he was like, yeah, but I have to work, and I have to go to the hospital, and I have to take care of this. And it just, it puts a strain on people.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to. And just the awareness of knowing what's going on and knowing why your body is reacting to it. And like you said, not making it yours, being aware that it's not yours, but you're just very aware of it.
Yes.
That can help to relieve the pressure.
Thank you, Ruby.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I've written down the questions because I really want to make sure that that I ask you everything that I wanted to ask you. So you actually already gave a lot of a bit of the answer of this. You started on it. My question is, why is it so valuable, according to you, for someone to occupy oneself with their energetic household and with energetic healing? You already told a bit about it, but can you?
Yeah, well, I think a very important part is, for one, to realize that you are not just in your body, that what we are is so much bigger than that. And that if we go to total awareness, that you can realize that your, let's call it your soul or your being, or whatever you would call it, it's everyone's choice. It's much bigger than our bodies. And I've, for one, also realized that if we are in pain, and we look at the pain from the point of view where we're not our body and we're not in our body, but we're bigger beings, we actually are occupying so much more space that the pain is not as real as we think it is. So that's one. And the other one is that when you make your choices in life, and those choices aren't yours or aren't true for you, it takes you away from really being you. And taking you away from being you diminishes yourself. It makes you actually smaller than what you really are. And we tend to make ourselves wrong for that. And we tend to judge ourselves. And by doing that, we're not really acknowledging who we are and the power that we really are. Because everyone, you can always say, and that's always what people try to say is, oh, I know I can be proud of myself, or no, I know that I'm worth it. But those are words.
Yes,
those are words, because people are still judging themselves and they are still taking judgments of others. And if we take away the judgments, then you can become your true self. And that's also what I work on as much as I can in my sessions, is to first of all neutralize judgments.
Yes, indeed.
Because that's the first step of coming to who you really are.
That's very beautiful indeed, neutralizing the judgments, and that is not most of the time isn't from ourselves, right? It's very deeply rooted in people, but most of the times it is from the outside that these judgments and limited beliefs are made.
Right.
And so actually then you're also carrying energy from someone else or a group of other people with you, and then you're projecting it on yourself.
True. Well, it is both. It is from other people, but don't underestimate the amount of times when we do actually judge ourselves.
Feed it, yeah.
Yeah, we just do it to ourselves as well. So many times. And I guess that's also what we need to realize, is that, yeah, maybe we can make some dumb choices. You know, we could have been smarter. But what if you can choose again? What if you always have choice?
Voilà, indeed.
And don't judge yourself for making the wrong choice, because there is no wrong choice.
Indeed.
maybe it wasn't so smart.
In the bigger picture,
it's better. Yeah,
indeed.
You can always choose again.
Yes, that's great to hear for a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, well, okay, I did this, I chose for this, and yeah, now I should deal with the consequences. Yes, one has to deal with consequences of the choices you make, but you can always, indeed, as you also say, and I also always say that you can choose again. You can make other choices and start living these choices, indeed. And that is also what my partner Ruud says. When people become entirely themselves, they're at their most beautiful. So it's important indeed to be able to give yourself the space to be who you really are, your entire self. And okay. What is your opinion concerning doing energetic work for others as well, like people in your environment, like family, friends, etc.? How do you look at that?
Well, what I've noticed since I started doing energetic work, people will only receive what they want to receive. And you get it when you get it. So even though I can see how much I can be of help to somebody, and even if I see from what point of view they are acting, if they're not ready for change, or if they're not willing to work for it, I mean, and work, I'm going to take that lightly, because it's not the work as doing hard, but it is a matter of asking the right questions, and it is a matter of training yourself to be in that state of mind. Indeed. And it is a matter of well, I could give an example. The things I did, one of the very first things I did was write down what makes me happy. I would just have a list on my phone, and I would have those points written down which make me happy, even if it's just a film, even if it's just a picture, even if it's some sort of YouTube film. It doesn't matter what it is, because when you're down, when you're in it, well, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but sometimes you're in a state of mind where you just cry, and you don't remember what those fun things are. So then you go to your list, you check out those fun things, and they will make you happier. Yes. So that's what I mean by doing the work. It's not really hard work. but it is, well, I guess having sort of a commitment to yourself. Because if you
Definitely.
don't do that, if you don't commit to yourself in writing down those points that make you happy,
Mhm.
at the time when you need it, you don't have anything to go back to. So that's what I mean by doing the work. And that
And
also
as you
is
said before, what I also found wonderful that you said, asking the right questions is also
right.
what you said
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Having open questions and making sure that it opens up to possibilities and not having a conclusion in it. And that's also coming back to your question in doing energetic work with friends and family. No, not everybody is open to it. And the ones
Mhm.
who are open to it, I'm always very careful. I don't want to be pushy. I want to let them know that I'm there. I want to let them know that I'm open to help wherever I can, but they
Mhm.
have to let me in. And it also means that some people close the door hard. They're
Yes.
locking.
Mhm. Indeed.
And that's fine too.
Definitely. Yeah. For the people that are listening, if they have family or friends in their environments and they for example see how they're suffering and they're really caring for their loved ones, um, what do you want to say to them when they really feel like, okay, I want to do
Well,
something
the
for
one
them?
thing that I can say is if you change and if you can be the space, it will be a change for them too. So you cannot pressure people into doing what you think is right or what works for you. You cannot push them to do the same thing. But I promise you, if you do the work and you're the change and you're the space, it'll change them as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very
that's all you
beautiful.
can do.
Hmm. Thank you. In that light, I want to ask you, how do you see the future? And that can be any way you like, and any way you want to share, and what has the future in store, um, when we ask you, what do you see, what do you feel about
Wow, that's not an easy question. um, well, the thing with the future is that I only perceive an energy that is abundant. I perceive an energy that is joyful. And the only thing is I do, the steps that I take in between are just the ones that are giving that energy. I
Mhm.
used to follow an energy of what is right, and not what is wrong, or follow an energy in saying, um, what will this deliver for me. And right now, it's just that every energy, when I perceive the future and I perceive that energy and the steps that I want to take, they need to feel the same as that energy.
Right.
Um, and the beautiful thing um, with this is that we cannot define it. As soon as we start to define it,
Mhm.
there is a conclusion, and a conclusion just closes all doors to all the possibilities because
Mhm.
we concluded this. And that's why it's so important to not wanting to solidify the future,
Mhm.
because the universe will always show it in a different way than you can think.
Mhm.
With our minds, that's also what I always say, the thing that we know in our minds are things from the past. Our brains are not capable to come up with things that we haven't seen yet. It's a
Mhm.
machine, a brilliant machine, yes, but it's a machine. So
Mhm.
if we want to go to awareness, we can only perceive an energy. We cannot perceive details. We cannot perceive conclusions, because that would solidify, and
Mhm.
that would also immediately um, stop all
Mhm.
other possibilities.
Yes,
That makes sense?
it does make sense indeed. There is indeed also the heart that feels, and that doesn't need to make conclusions about things, and to put things into boxes or lines, or whatever, in a rigid way, but that is able to feel space, and to indeed what you say, to experience joy and space, and so I was really wondering, it was not a test for you or something to see if you could tell us what the future has in store or something, but what you really feel that comes to you, because the future can be far away, but can also be very nearby. And in it's kind of funny, because in Dutch we have the word toekomst for the future, which means that it comes to you. So, you know, so you can also feel what is coming towards you, um, instead of that people place the future in a far space, indeed, far place they don't know anything of. And that is the beautiful thing, if you indeed, again, make this connection with feeling energies, and um, yeah, describing what you experience, what you feel, um, then you can experience what the future can have in store for you, and then you can also create that for yourself, of course.
Right.
And it's very beautiful. The reason I asked you this question is because a lot of people are afraid of the future, and it's also good to hear from others that it can also be a good thing, and that you can create it for yourself as a good experience as well. And that you don't have to be afraid of what others create for you, or what the future would be like. And that you have no say in the matter whatsoever. So that is actually also the reason why I wanted to ask you this, because it can make feel people more at ease as well. Thank you for your bright, um, share of the future. Is there something else you want to say to the people that are listening? Do you have a message for them?
Well, actually, there's something that just popped up because of what you just said. It's about people having fear for the future. I guess what I want to say is having fear for the future, or having fear in general. Fear is an emotion that also keeps us apart from who you really are.
Indeed.
And if we get rid of that fear, what's below the fear is your true power and potency.
Indeed.
So the fear is an invention. If you're actually an infinite being, would you have fear? What would you have to be afraid of? What could happen? So the question, is it fear, or is it excitement, the future?
That is a beautiful one indeed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that is indeed what we said, an issue that people actually struggle a lot with, also in these times, that they have fear for the future. And actually, as I said before, I want to put people at ease that in the future, which you are creating now with yourself, with your own energy, with the choices you make, that it can be okay, and that you can be okay, and that it can be more than okay, that it can be wonderful, and you create it yourself. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Also for this putting at ease for people, and that they can also experience that there are a lot of possibilities, good possibilities as well. So thank you for joining us. Really wonderful. And yeah, we hope to see you again soon. We're also doing things together, so people will see more of you as well. And if you want to share with people where they can find you, how they can find you, if they also want to connect with you, then please share.
Well, if anybody is interested, I have a website which is called Creatingyou.Nl. You can visit that website and yeah, find various things that I'm working at. And you could also connect to my Facebook page, which is Creating You Lifestyle, Business and Mindset. So if anybody's interested to connecting on that front, you're welcome to join.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And so until next time, I would say.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Melody, for this
Bye.
opportunity. And see you next
You're
time.
welcome. It was wonderful.
Bye.
Bye bye.